We never know what to do while it's turning on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
I'm back.
Oh yeah, you weren't here last week. Where were you? Oh, we double booked your calendar.
Yes.
Well, not me. Your assistant double booked your calendar, not me. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is finally Friday. It's been a very, very, very long week, but a good week.
Good week.
Yeah. So we have some exciting news to share in the real estate world. So if you're a realtor or in real estate, you've likely already heard about this 25,000 times over Facebook. But if you're a consumer, you may not have heard about this. So we've been predicting all end of last year and beginning of this year that the feds were going to raise the rates, which they were and they did. But as I told you, what happened to our economy at the beginning of the year with the government shutdown and things just not taking off as they expected, the feds kind of eased back their conversation. And we should probably start with what that all means to begin with. So when the feds raise the rates, it does not have a direct correlation to mortgage rates.
Correct.
That's super important to understand. But it does have a, let's just say, lingering effect. And it does end up affecting the bonds, which affect the rates. And so the feds came out this week and said they will not raise the rates and they won't the rest of the year.
So that's huge. Definitely, I believe the stock market went up. So that's good for all people that have a bunch of stocks in there. So,
Well, the biggest warning I have is for buyers. That means that mortgage rates should stay kind of where they're at right now. They're going to fluctuate. They're going to go up and down depending on how things go throughout the year.
It's daily.
But we don't expect them to do anything crazy. And we don't expect them to be nearly as high as we expected them to be by the end of the year. And so I think that means we're going to continue to see the real estate market that we have right now, which we've predicted all year long.
Yeah.
The difference is I think the speed of the market will pick back up. It already has.
It has.
We're seeing multiple offers on listings. We're seeing above asking price for properties. We're seeing a little bit of craziness, but not as much.
No, and it's like we've talked about definitely the last couple of months. It's the turnkey properties where the sellers have done a great job getting the home ready. Those are the homes where we are seeing very competitive offers, multiple offers. Not always getting pushed up. It all depends on how it's priced when it goes on the market.
Exactly.
We're still seeing price reductions even on turnkey stuff just because they missed the mark as far as their numbers.
Yeah.
But with the rates holding down, it does allow people to afford a little bit more. Obviously, we got some affordability stuff in there, and more buyers qualified. So that's where you get the more offers or multiple offers.
Yeah.
And prices rising.
Yeah. The other thing that's going on is the upper end of the market, million plus, is really hurting right now. That's probably where we're seeing the biggest shift is million plus. So I'm hearing out in Yorba Linda and the really expensive areas of, Brea and even Fullerton, the upper price point of Orange County. I'm not talking really into South Orange County because it's a little bit different down there. I'm talking more into inland Orange County, up against the Inland Empire area. They're really seeing a hit in value, over $1 million. So that's a really hard price point to catch into. So
yeah, that one gets affected by when you slow down and the 5 to 800,000 because those are the people that are moving up into the millions. So when that market slows, then the upper market slows even more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The other thing I want to mention today is for those of my friends in real estate, but it's also interesting for consumers that Facebook made some huge changes to ads this week. Now, Harold and I are not big, huge Facebook ad people because we do business by relationship and we don't frankly have to put a bunch of ads out on Facebook to generate leads, but a lot of realtors do. Now, we do them around our open houses from time to time just to generate more traffic through the open house and to advertise the property, but we're not doing it specifically to get more business. But a lot of realtors have, and Facebook was, I think, unknowingly allowing some discrimination to happen. Because we were allowed to do ads and pick a demographic, pick a zip code, pick a income level, pick a male, female, pick an age range, pretty much anything.
No restrictions.
Facebook removed 5,000 demographic categories just a few days ago. And the reason I encourage my realtor friends out there to work relationally is I have real estate friends who are losing their mind over this. Because they're not going to be able to do Facebook lead ads the way they did before, and therefore they think they're not going to generate any business. And it is so wonderful to not do business that way. And Facebook should knock it off. You shouldn't be able to discriminate in the housing world, at least. I think in any world, but specifically in housing, we have something called fair housing, and it's a federal act. And it is a big deal if you violate it. And HUD, the Housing Urban Development, is actually still suing Facebook over it. They're not dropping the lawsuit.
It's a big thing. I mean, don't do it.
Don't do it. Just don't do it, people. And the thing I want to bring up is on the real estate sales side as well. And Harold actually hasn't even heard this. So he's going to hear this the first time you're going to hear this. I have a realtor friend who is a manager of an office now, and occasionally we'll do like a Facebook Live in their office while they're teaching or having masterminds. And so I was watching one day because it was live online, and I was listening to this agent tell their agents, new agents, to just go out and find transactions, like find deals. Like all you should worry about is prospecting. Don't worry about learning the contract. You can figure it out as you go along. What in the world, people? That is what scares me about you, the consumer, working with realtors, that you don't know their training and you don't know where they come from. Can you imagine your surgeon finding a bunch of patients and just practicing on you? Now, see, he hasn't heard this. Okay, I'm gonna go on my rant, Do I agree that some realtors can become professional students and not figure out how to sell houses and find clients? Absolutely. Can they sit in classes all day long learning about contracts and disclosures and not learn how to talk to another human? Absolutely. But should they just focus on lead generation and sales and not learn their business? Absolutely freaking not. Like, oh my goodness, I about lost my marbles. It took everything in me not to comment.
That's a big risk. I mean, you're risking your license.
You're going to go practice real estate on people?
Yeah.
So here at the Betts Realty Group, we not only teach them how to generate business, but at the same time, my new agents are going through contract training. They're writing contracts to me where I'm the buyer, and they have to pretend I'm the buyer and present a contract to me. They're learning disclosures. They're going and taking classes. You have to do both and. So if you're working with a new realtor, please ask them how many contracts they've written. Please ask them how many transactions they've done, or please at least I'm not saying don't work with a new agent. We have new agents here, but find out their experience level, or at least find out who's training them. My agents can say, my broker is working right alongside me for my first 5 transactions. Like I'm doing the transaction with them to ensure that they know what they're doing. Don't let someone practice on you. Don't be somebody's guinea pig.
That's your biggest investment you have. So
can you believe this? I know you believe it because we see it, but can you believe it?
Yes, it's just unfortunate because we actually do see it on a daily basis. We're fortunate with the amount of transactions we do. On the other side is another agent, and most of the time it's a professional, good agent. Mm-hmm. And then there's other times where it's not always necessarily just a new agent. I've dealt with agents that have been in the business for years. And
you guys, yesterday, an agent brought me an offer. I can't even say it. On NCR paper. Okay, you realtors out there, if you were doing business before about 2004, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Do you remember the NCR contracts? Do you remember press hard 3 copies? Like that was the joke. He brought me an offer on NCR paper. The contract was from 2014. Our contract has changed, I don't know, 25,000 times in 5 years.
A year, at least.
Yeah. And I called the agent and I said, I'm sorry, I will present your offer because I have to. But I'm going to advise my client that she requests you put this on a current 2019 contract before we proceed. Sorry. Yeah. So it can go both ways, guys. My advice is find a realtor who's active in the market every day, who does this every day. You don't want a surgeon who does 5 surgeries a year. You want the surgeon that does 200 surgeries a year. Just like you don't want the realtor who does 1 transaction a year. You want the realtor who's doing lots of transactions every year. So, okay, I'm off that soapbox now.
Off the range.
I'm obviously the subject starter, if you haven't told.
Good thing I wasn't watching that live.
Oh my God. Well, I'm sure you might have already guessed who it is. Do not say the name out loud, but I'll share with you later. So, yeah. But anyways, I digress. The last thing I want to chat about is a real big kudos we got this week from a client.
Past client. We had met with them, a couple of years ago to help out on his mother's property. So it was good, just interaction. slowly. And then finally, he had some serious questions.
Yeah, on a Sunday afternoon.
Something had happened that he thought would have been easily done. Turns out it wasn't. So we had to set up a meeting for him to come in and eventually our attorney. So
well, the thread of text messages on Sunday afternoon was, I could tell he was panicked. I could tell he was stressed. I could tell he was worried. And so I mentioned in the thread, actually Harold mentioned in the thread, do you want to come in next week, bring in all your paperwork? I said, we'll get our attorney on the phone, a state attorney on the phone for you. And he was like, oh my God, you can get your attorney on the phone? I'm like, absolutely. We'll go through everything because we're not attorneys. We do know how to handle an estate transaction, but the couple of questions he had were more legal based. So we set up an appointment, had him come in, and in the text message thread, my favorite thing he said was, because it was a Sunday afternoon, and we easily could have ignored the phone call till Monday. It was Sunday afternoon. But I could just tell that he had some emotion behind it, and he was stressed and worried and full of anxiety. And he said to us, thank you again, Harold and Barbara. I guarantee Purple Bricks wouldn't have delivered this kind of service. And I thought, oh my gosh. And if you don't know what Purple Bricks is, you've been living under a rock. They have TV ads everywhere. They're talking about the commisery of doing business with a realtor and how it's so horrible. And oh my God. And the good news is they're going bankrupt and losing money. So haha, joke's on you. But what I love is that he recognized he's hearing these commercials about how it's quick and easy peasy. And it's like Brian says, 3 easy payments of $9.99. That's what they make it sound like. And the reality is these transactions are complicated. They're a big deal. Real estate is not easy. No. And that was really wonderful for us to hear, because we do strive to give that service on a daily basis and stand out amongst our competition. And it's because we go deep and we care and we have the resources and we have the knowledge to help our clients through the most difficult transaction they'll ever do in their life.
No. And after we met with him, his relief,
oh my goodness,
it was a world of difference. So we were glad that we were able to do that. And I actually got a call from his wife thanking us.
Yeah, his wife is out of state while he's down here taking care of his mother. And his wife was literally like, thank you for bringing my husband back. Yeah. And that means everything to us. And, we don't even have a contract with them yet, but that's how we do business. We're not going to not help you because we don't have a listing contract yet, because we're going to get that listing contract. There's no chance he's going anywhere else because we've shown him our value and how much we care. So yeah. What else we got today? We got dance competition this weekend. Mandy's last dance competition, you guys. Senior year, last competition. And I'm all Kentucky, and she's getting ready to go. She found a roommate, and it's the beginning of it's not the end. I mean, it's not like she's leaving us forever, but
it's the beginning of the next phase.
Oh, it's so hard. So I will be crying. Yes, I will be upset. Yes, I will be an empty nester. Everyone asks me what I'm going to do. I'm like, I don't know, drink wine.
Work more, travel more.
Work more, travel more, and drink wine. Not that I don't drink wine now, but that's always my answer. Yeah. People think it's funny. They act like we're going to have nothing to do. They're like, what are you going to do? I'm like, do you know how busy we are? Like, we're going to have to set an alarm to force us to go home, because usually what happens is we're like, oh, Mandy needs food. Yeah. Oh, who's going to feed her? I mean, she's capable of feeding herself, but I like to make her home-cooked meals. Yeah. So that's usually what forces us to leave.
Home-cooked meals?
Hey, I went and picked up dinner last night while you were on an appointment.
I appreciate it.
It was waiting for you when you got home.
Nice.
It's amazing, huh? I'm actually capable. I do cook, you guys. Ask him who taught him how to cook.
Myself. No, I'm just kidding. Shoot.
I did. And then when he quickly became good at it, I just decided I didn't want to do it anymore. What? Okay, these people don't want to sit and listen to us talk about cooking for the rest of the day. Okay, all of you, I hope all of our friends tell us how entertaining this is. We really don't do it for entertainment. We do it more for education. We want you to be educated. We want you to have a place to come and learn and hear what's going on a weekly basis in this real estate industry, because it is changing every single day. So if you know a friend or family member who's looking to buy or sell a home, we'd love to be the realtors that you connect them to. And please feel free to share these with friends. I know they're kind of goofy and quirky. And if you have questions or things we're not answering or things you're curious about, let us know. Like, send us a message. We'd love to answer those questions. And there's so much education that we can do. We just sometimes don't know where to start because we don't know what's important to people. But
everybody's question is going to be different, but also keep in mind, if you have it, there's a good chance it will help a lot of other people.
Exactly. Yeah. They always say the only stupid question is the one not asked. Yes. So have a wonderful weekend. We hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.
Bye.